Right. Awesome. Well, I feel like we've gotten a kind of a, I haven't seen many folks join in the last little bit. So maybe let's go ahead and get started. I'm just pulling up my agenda here, but glad to see everyone. See some smiling faces. Yeah, awesome. So let's jump on into the agenda. I finally have pulled up here. Just want to throw out real quick. I know I've like played around with the agenda a little bit in the past few months, trying to figure out a way to kind of streamline it. We tried, reaching out to partners ahead of time and only putting folks on the list that replied, but this time we got, I think, 2, so I didn't want to have such a small agenda. So we're working through that, but I think for now we're going to leave. Gonna kind of go back to how we originally had it, where we'll just put all the partners up on the agenda. I'll send out reminders though, and if folks are welcome to reach out and either confirm or let me know that you won't be able to attend, and then we'll adjust the agenda that way. But I don't want to like leave people off the list just if they don't have time to get back to an email. So sorry for all the different kind of jumping around on that, but we're figuring out some system that works. So let's see. Yeah, we don't have any special presentation today. I wasn't sure if we'd have a huge meeting today because it is December and a lot of people start taking time off, that kind of thing, but it looks like we have a great showing. So and I actually see a hand up from Mario. Do you want to jump in right off the bat before we?
So thank you first of all for inviting us. So my name is Mario Klipp and I'm with the California Department of Fish and Wildlife, and the gentleman who was just speaking, who was driving to Dobbins, likely drove through a wildlife area that starts at Dolan Harding and continues up to Collins Lake Road. I have a few other meetings, so I'm only going to be here for a little bit before I have to jump to some other meetings. John Watkins, one of my staff, is on the call as well. And you just mentioned that there's no special presentations today. But if there is time, it might be good for the rest of the community to know what kind of project we are working on, as well as what kind of project we are planning to do along Marysville Road. If there's time on the agenda for that, great. If not, then we can punt it to next month, I guess, the 12th, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah, we have a spot for you guys on the agenda, and yeah, feel free to take some time to talk about the project. I mean, if it's going to be like a half-hour kind of presentation, we might need to schedule that separate. But yeah, if you just want to talk about it real quick, that's great. We totally have time for that. So. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm leaving the meeting before 10.
Okay, great. Good to know. Yeah, well, thanks, Mario and John. I'm glad to have you guys here. And that is actually a great segue into our public comment period. Anyone else have any announcements they wanna put out to the group, or any new faces want to introduce yourself today? We'll just let it sit, let people unmute for a second if they want to. All right, well, hearing none, yeah, we can go ahead and launch right into partner reports. So I did hear back from Jason. He wasn't going to make it today, but anyone else from the Plumas here? I don't see anyone on the list on the screen there. All right, so let's go to the Tahoe National Forest. I think Eric, you're here.
Here, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Eric Rice, District Fire Management Officer off the Yuba River on the Tahoe National Forest. For the Yuba River District, we're pretty quiet right now, mostly catching up on some backlog of hand piles, primarily in Sierra County up on the Yuba project, And then also Nevada County out on Burlington Ridge. We burnt yesterday out there. We're continuing to burn up in Yuba today. In Yuba County, we do have some contract fuels reduction work taking place out in the Pendola area. One unit is complete for 40 acres. That's a hand-cut hand pile unit down by Bridger Creek. And then additionally, after, I believe it'll be after Christmas, maybe after New Year, depending on weather, they will come back and they're working directly into the burn scar. We've been kind of experimenting with that old Pendola burn scar is just an animal, you know, it just is a brushy, woolly mess. So we've been experimenting with some different ways to restore that area, kind of a hardwood culturing project. So that's been ongoing, and they will continue to work on that. So really pretty quiet on the burning front in Yuba County. We do have the one unit out there off of Baker Ranch Road that has just been a real bear to try to get done. It's been too wet or too dry to finish that one. And that's really the only backlog of hand piles we have left. We're pretty much caught up. So other than that, on the suppression side, obviously very quiet. We're really grateful to get some storms coming in. It looks like next week's going to be really good. So for more weather. So that's about it, Allison. We're pretty quiet around here right now, except for catching up for some projects. And then when we get back from the new year, I would imagine continuing to crank back up in areas that we still have some of our backlog of work that we're trying to catch up on. End of report from the Tahoe, unless there are questions.
You know, I have one question, Eric.
Yeah, go ahead.
What office are you working out of right now?
Well, today I'm in Nevada City, but typically I'm in Camptonville.
Okay, thank you much.
Eric,
Yeah.
if you get the opportunity to snap some pictures, particularly in the Pendola area, as you go through that, might be things we can use in the future for education and for the calendars,
Okay.
if you wouldn't mind. Thank
Yeah.
you.
And also, hey, Beverly, I did track down a bunch more hose that was at White Cloud. So we'll work on
Oh, okay.
getting that shipped over from White Cloud over to Camptonville. So it may not happen till after the new year, but there was a pile of excess hose sitting behind the station.
That's perfect. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Great. Thanks so much, Eric. Any other questions for Eric? All right. So next up on the list is CAL FIRE. I don't see anyone here from CAL FIRE, I don't think, unless I'm missing someone.
No, this is Sean. They're all in meetings today,
Gotcha.
and they've got a bunch of other ones, but to pass along just a brief summary for anyone that doesn't know, the fire prevention grants should be coming out. The opening for the fire prevention grants to application period should be starting soon. There's quite a few $1 million in that, and Chief Matthias was very at the Chiefs meeting was very vocal about Yuba County hasn't gotten much out of that in the last few years, and so he really encourages Yuba County to put in for some and to battle that, so or have some projects ready to drop in for that, for those fire prevention fund grants. As far as operationally, they're doing some prescribed fire in Nevada County and Placer County over the past couple weeks. Nothing planned for Yuba County as of yet. Right now, they're looking at keeping 2 engines per station until December 13th. They'll go down to one engine per station. And the current plan is to keep that 1 engine per station till January 3rd, so that they have some resources to do some fuel reduction work in the event they get a window that they can get some burning projects in and whatnot. I know they've been working with BLM doing some pile burning up in the Columbia Hill area, utilizing their resources, but like I said, nothing really going on in Yuba County. And I believe that's in a report for them.
Great. Thanks, Sean, for relaying that info. Yeah, I just heard about the fire prevention grants, and I have a few projects in mind that would fit well for that. So we're definitely going to apply for something. The Fire Safe Council is. So happy to talk to anyone else too about collaboration potential. So, all right. Any questions for Sean real quick? All right, moving on. CDFW, John, is Mario still able to be here? Yeah. So John or Mario, feel free to hop on in.
You share your screen, John?
Yeah, sure. I have a map here, and so this is my first time on these meetings, so I'll start just generally, but if you have more specific questions, let me know. Let's see. Now we typically use Teams, so okay, here's the share screen. Hopefully this works. Okay. Can you see my screen here?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, so I'll start with this one here. So we are building a fuel break in our Dougherty Hill wildlife area. So just for some context, we have Collins Lake right here. The road that we're working on, Marysville Road, cuts right through two of ours. So we're going to be cutting on either side. Currently, there are bulldozer lines along this section of Marysville Road, but we're going to be expanding those lines with just reduced vegetation areas for an additional about 75 feet. And so it's going to be a fairly large operation. I believe this is about 1.5 miles or so. So it's a fairly large area, but we're going to be going from the edge of the bulldozer line 75 feet in. We're going to be removing gray pines, smaller oaks, clearing out all the brush within that area. So Mario, I don't know if you have more you want to add or.
Yeah, why don't you go back to the other map for a minute? So this kind of like a little bit more of context, guys. So SB 85 and 170 was recently approved, which are basically state Senate bills that give funding to state agencies that are actually landowners as well. And these are the projects that we're trying to accomplish. We're looking at projects in 17 different counties for what I oversee, but this is actually happening across the state. So what we're doing is we're increasing the amount of areas that we're grazing, and we're also increasing the amount of fuel that we're reducing. The concerns that we're actually running into is that we can't get any crews to actually do it for us, because CAL FIRE has been our go-to partner for many years in Yuba County, but I'm sure all the other organizations have run into the same issue. Washington Ridge is not nearly having the same availability to various reasons as they had previously. So since then, we've contracted also at CCC. CCC is actually running into the same exact issue, and we are now contracting out of state to get crews to be able to do this work for us. The Cascade Fire, and I think it was maybe it was the La Porte Fire, maybe it was in 2018, but Sean probably remembers this better than I do. It also left a lot of dead standing wood in these areas. So what we're doing is that on the boundary of the Quail Valley unit, which is the most western unit, as well as the Donovan unit, we're putting a shaded fuel break in along the entire boundary of the property. So that's been going on for a number of months, and a lot of acreage has been treated since then.
If mommy will work, we can.
There's someone that's unmuted, and that's kind of distracting. Having a hard time keep my train of thought going here. So the other thing that Sean and I, in fact, Sean, you made it part of a VMP at one point, is our Yuba Narrows unit, which is right by Smartville. It's on the Nevada and Yuba border, right by the Yuba River. That whole area we just fenced off, and that's going to get grazed now for the first time aggressively to reduce finer fuels in that area. And we've also reduced larger fuels in that area So there's a lot of movement, but the primary reason for us to kind of participate in this call after Allison reached out to us is that, frankly, I'm not sure what this group is trying to accomplish or what the geographical scope is. So, like Allison pointed out, we did not receive the last invite for a technical snafu, but we're interested in providing you with updates and also making sure that you are aware of the projects that we're trying to accomplish here.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks, Mario. We're really glad you could join. Yeah, we're I saw your email a little bit ago. I'm happy to send you more info, but yeah, we're basically just what do you say, stakeholders and interested folks in the region, and all the professionals working toward wildfire mitigation and preparedness prevention. So yeah, this kind of project is exactly what we'd love to hear. We like to, bring everyone in, have everyone kind of give updates on their different projects and kind of see where there's opportunity to collaborate or kind of strategize, Yuba, wildfire mitigation work in the Yuba foothills. Yuba foothills, the 5 fire districts are basically our region. So, but yeah.
I was just hearing Plumas and Sierra and other counties as well. So we have many other projects as well that if there is a wider interest, it goes all the way. I mean, like I said, we have project in 17 counties right now. So if there's we just focused on Yuba County right now based on our original or understanding of this, but we also have project in Butte County further north, and in Nevada County, and in various other places as well.
Yeah, we're focused on Yuba County, like I said, but potentially, sometime in the future we could have you guys do a larger presentation on kind of your work and all over. I think that might be interesting to a lot of folks too. So great. Any questions for Mario or John? Curtis, I see your hand up.
Mario, this is Curtis. I run the website for Fire Safe Council. I took screenshots of those PDFs you shared. Can I share those online?
Yeah.
All right. And second question, the fuel break you're doing on Quail Ridge, that's basically my backyard. Did you say that's done or you're still working on that?
So we are working on the fuel break on the southern portion of what we call our Quail Valley unit. That's still we've been working on it for a number of months.
Right. I've seen the trucks going up and down the road here.
Yeah. It's not completed yet. I think before the new year, we'll jump over to the Donovan unit. And then we are working on CEQA right now for the bigger project along Marysville Road, because it's going to be there's going to be more fuel reduced there. There's other benefits that we see there as well. There's quite a bit of wildlife that gets hit right on that section between Collins Lake and Nolan Harding. So obviously removing some of the shrub that is close to the road might provide a better opportunity for people when they come down these hills. And people drive, they drive 70, 80 miles an hour there. So if you hit something there, that's it'd be nice to give a little bit of more of a heads up for folks to see when there's deer or bear or whatever else trying to cross. But obviously, as you are removing more and more fuel, there's also potentially an environmental impact, and there's some endangered plants and whatever else in the area that we have to make sure of that we address. So that's still in progress. And in terms of a prioritization perspective, of course, there's a lot more dead standing fuel from that fire in 2018.
That was a 2017 Cascade fire that did that.
Yeah, I think it was La Porte and Cascade. One came in from Loma Rica, and the other one came from I think it was what is that little town that's further up on Los Vergeles? I can't remember.
Bangor.
Bangor, yes. The other one came from Bangor, and then they kind of met in the middle. So long story short, there's probably going to be more work as we continue, but we've prioritized basically the areas where we border private land. So I think for this community, what we've done a number of projects now where essentially we have a beautiful fire break, and then essentially the private property is is not mitigated. So obviously us putting a fire break in is kind of pointless in that sense. But that's been how we prioritized it. And there's a fire break that is behind White Oak. You may remember that, you may know that area as well, that maybe before Sean retired, we worked on that as well. We continue to maintain that fire break also. It's also a shaded fuel break.
Very good. Thank you.
Alrighty.
Any other questions? Awesome. Well, great. Well, thanks again, Mario and John. Hope to have you as regulars on these meetings going into the future. And I hope to work out all the technical issues I've been having. I apologize to everyone about that. I don't know what's going on with some of the meeting invites, but great. All right. Well, if there are no more questions there, we can move on in the agenda. I think we have Yuba County OES, Office of Emergency Services, up next. If you're there, John.
Yes. Nothing to report other than we now have an admin, so our numbers have doubled for the office. So hopefully we'll have a manager in January, so we'll be back up to speed soon.
Great. Oh, and John, I reached out to the GIS person I was talking with you about at Yuba County. I haven't heard anything back. Was there any progress on that?
The sheriff's office dispatch has the layers for that.
Okay.
The issue is some of them aren't separated between what's public facing and then what we use kind of internally. And they're trying to get those separated out before they can hand them over.
Gotcha. Okay. Thanks for helping out with that.
No problem. And then, yeah, I spoke to them and they're pretty busy, but they are on it. And once I hear back from them, and I'll forward it on to you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right. I don't see Mike Lee on here from CDSA at the county. Is there anyone from Public Works on? Let's see.
Yes, Dan Peterson.
Oh, Dan, there you are. Great. Welcome.
Thank you.
Do you have, I don't know, any updates for the group on what some of Public Works current projects are upcoming? You want to share with us?
Well, I just got a notice that CAL FIRE has a new fire prevention grant program.
Yes.
Solicitation going on, so I was going to take a look at that this week.
Great.
I guess applications are due February 9th.
Yeah, we've seen that too. We're looking at that potentially for some roadside clearing work. So we will definitely talk to you about that.
Yeah, we need to coordinate on that.
Yes, for sure. So yeah, I'll reach out after the meeting. We can talk more about that.
Right. Thank you.
All right. Let's move on. Haven't seen anyone from the sheriff's office here in a while. So next up is Yuba Water Agency. If Joanna or Creighton want to hop in. There we go.
I don't have anything. Creighton, do you have anything?
No.
Okay.
You kind of covered it with that funding opportunity. So yeah, other than that, happy holidays, everyone.
Yes. Great. Good to see your faces. All right. Gary, let's move on to your report for a few different groups you represent.
Well, we'll start with the Resource Conservation District. There's really no update from last month on that. We'll have our next meeting this Friday morning if anybody wants to attend. For the wildfire mitigation reviews, we've now conducted a total of 40. We've conducted 4 since Thanksgiving, 3 in the Pendola area, 1 in Oregon House. And I know of another one that was put into the queue, but the information has not been forwarded to me. So I don't know if there's an issue with the system or not. because the second person said they were going to request a review of Pendola Ranch and all their parcels, and I have not seen that come through to me. So Curtis, I don't know if there's an issue with it being forwarded to me or what's going on, or if the people didn't fill it out correctly, but I do know supposedly of 2 wanting reviews that I have not seen the information yet.
Gary, those are now being sent through a different form. You should have gotten an email if it was filled out correctly.
I have not seen anything from them.
Hmm.
So how am I going to be notified that with their information? Is it going to be by an email?
Allison, the mitigation review was one of the other forms we filled out.
For, you mean that new system we were trying
The
out?
chip, right, is
Yeah,
that going?
I don't think we've switched over to that, that system yet for the mitigation reviews, so we're still.
All right, let me go. I'll look at that today, Gary.
Yeah, and Gary, if you want to send.
Okay,
both
thank
me
you.
and
I
Curtis-
just said,
If you want to send both me and Curtis,
Well, sorry.
the names of those folks, we can make sure they're not floating around in there somewhere. So, and we'll get this sorted out.
okay, that's be great. Yeah, that'd be great. One of them was somebody submitted it for one person and they sent me a text message saying they had requested it and has said it had not, I hadn't seen anything forwarded to me on that yet. I put my name in there just for the meeting, started to see if something would come to me. I did get a message saying I had submitted a request, but I had not seen it coming through the process saying, asking me to come out and look at it. So anyway, there's that issue. It said we've conducted 40, a majority of them have been in Oregon House and Browns Valley. I think the program is going great. Ethel C is on here. She is one of our trainees. Like to ask her what she thinks of the program and get a few comments from her before we get off of here. The other thing, I know there's 2 groups trying to do Firewise Communities, one out in the Pendola area, the other one, the Lake Francis Estates. So I know there's going to be quite a few reviews coming through there.
Mhm.
So anyway, that's about it for the mitigation reviews. And Ethel, do you want to make any comments? Apparently not. Any questions?
Gary, I just looked at the form. There's 6 forms that I'll send to you.
Okay.
Ethel, I wanted to thank you for organizing the sign project for your community up there. What do we do? 13 or 14 signs for the Lake Francis area. So thank you for organizing that and getting those out there.
Thank you, Curtis. Yes, that is the first step for our Firewise community intention to be certified.
Can you elaborate a little bit on those signs?
These are the address signs, Kathy. They,
Okay,
yeah,
thank you.
address signs. All right, any other questions for Gary? Gary, we have you on here for the Oregon Peak Lookout too. Is that anything on that, or is that kind of put to bed for the season?
That's put to bed for the season. We'll have some type of thank you dinner, luncheon, probably in February. But other than that, until next spring, early summer, Oregon Peak is shut down for right now.
Sounds good. All right, next up, Camptonville Community Partnership. I know Kathy's here.
Yeah, hi, this is Kathy LeBlanc. I I just wanted to piggyback a little bit on the Firewise Communities out in the Pendola area. These folks in Camptonville are really gung ho, and they are meeting weekly, trying to get more folks. And Jesse Golden has been helping them through this. We're looking for the opportunity, hopefully, which will be coming up in a funding cycle soon, where we can have more assistance on these Firewise communities. It is really the way to go. I'm going to fill us in a little bit on what's happening with the Forest Biomass Business Center. We are still working through our land ownership piece, getting our both our timber harvest plan and our timber conversion plan. I think that was the name of them, finalized. We have selected our engineering, procurement, and contractor to build the facility. That is an outfit called IAC. They're from the Midwest. They have California offices. We're working to get them under contract. We're hiring a contract attorney to go over all the fine details of this. As you could imagine, it's very detailed. We are also, I think I reported last time, we received our power purchase agreement. We are working out financing details. And hopefully, I know you guys have heard this a million times, but you know, when you're running a project that is community driven, sometimes perseverance is what really makes it go. So we are looking again at a break the ground date of early spring. This time it's going to stick, darn it. I'm going to say it is. And we want to get this project going. For those that aren't familiar with it, it's a forest biomass to energy project. It'll generate 5 megawatts of energy from sustainably harvested forest products, fuel. God, my brain is going bad. That's not as keeping up with my tongue. Anyways, it is local. It'll be built along Marysville Road, very near the Challenge Cutoff Road. And it is a project that will offer about 22 livable wage jobs for folks in the area, and also opportunity for entrepreneurs to connect to our project with either heat needs, because it's a combined heat and power project, or power needs. So this is going to get done, you guys. You can line up. You know, this is a great opportunity for anybody even who does firewood, because we're going to have kiln dryers there. So, you know, having firewood availability, there will be a lot of opportunity there. So even greenhouses, food producing greenhouses, and my favorite I'd like to see there is a brewery. So, you know, the runs a gamut. Don't feel free to contact myself or even Allison about this Forest Biomass Business Center. If you'd like to be a co-located business, we want to hear from you. The last thing I'd like to report on is that we completed our special needs defensible space contract with the Fire Safe Council. We were able to do 5 more homes in addition to what PG&E allowed us to do. So we did a total of 9 homes in the Yuba Foothill area. With this Fire Safe Council grant, we were able to do 3 homes in Oregon House, 1 in Browns Valley, and 1 in Loma Rica. So little by little, we are becoming more and more fire safe. And that is all from us for now. If anybody has questions, please let me know.
Thanks, Kathy. Any questions for any of Kathy's, all the different projects she has going on? All right. Well, moving on. Next up, we have SPI. I think I saw Ryan on here.
Yeah, I don't know if Eric's on or not, but I am.
I don't see Eric's
I had a
name.
quick question for, okay, he's a busy schedule. So I have a question for Dan Peterson. Is he still there?
I think he had to hop off, actually. He sent me a note real quick, but
okay. All right. Well, I don't have much of an update, actually, just the mastication project that we were going to start for the Brownsville fuel break, Oregon Ridge fuel break, and some forest health units hasn't started yet. Volcano Creek, the contractor's busy wrapping up another job, and we'll be moving maybe next week, I'm hoping. So just in time for it to get wet and cold.
Perfect.
And that's all that's going on. Other than I just want to reiterate to the group that, you know, we are looking to be involved in any upcoming opportunities for, you know, CCI grants, whatever, on any of our properties in Yuba County. So that's pretty much it.
Okay. Ryan, I do have some signs for you for that Brownsville fuel break in the works. They're
cool.
They're at the print shop right now, so I'll let you know as soon as they're ready. But
Great,
yeah.
Great. So did you get what, like 3 or 5 of them? How many you got?
I got 5, yeah, and they're
Perfect.
fairly nice signs, so I'll want them back eventually. But,
good. Well, yeah, we'll coordinate, and I'll put
Great.
those up as soon as I can.
Great.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. That's a great suggestion. All right. Next up on the list is Chai Company. Is he here in the background? I think most people know here. I just share an office space with him. So Madison has something very quick to say.
All right, well, I'll keep it quick. Yeah, we have a bunch of mastication operations going on right now in the area. I think I want to say we've got 4 masticators working on different projects right now between the Yuba Water Agency, CCI grant, and also we're doing some work on the Stevens Fund project right now, retreating the Oregon Ridge fuel break. So that's kind of the short and sweet.
Any questions for Chai on their many different mastication projects? I have one question. Are you taking before and after photos for me?
I have before and after photos, yes.
Okay. Great, thank you.
Me too. They're for me too, Allison.
Who is that? Oh, Joanna. Yes. Absolutely. Let's see. Siller Brothers. I thought I saw Nick here. Hey, Nick, do you want to give any updates to the group? What you guys are working on?
Yeah, we're finishing up over in Feather Falls right now, burning piles and just kind of cleaning up that stuff. And then we'll be heading back into Yuba County, focusing on CCI grant mastication primarily, and then that Oregon Ridge fuel break as well. And then we just wanted to stress, yeah, we want to be involved in any projects that are in Yuba County for any of our parcels at all. So we want to contribute more and get in on all of that. So.
Great to know. Yeah, we'd love to work with all you guys, get more good work done in the area.
Mm-hmm.
All right, any questions, I guess, for any of our partners before we move on to Fire Safe Council reports? All right, hearing none. I think Beverly, you are up next with the outreach and education.
Thank you, Allison. Well, we actually got the calendar to the printers this week, and thank you, Allison, for your help in getting that done. I really encourage people to start taking pictures early in the season because we did a little scrambling at the end there. Actually, John and Mario, if there's anything from Fish and Wildlife that looks like it might be a nice shot for our next calendar, because I'm already thinking 2023 and trying to get a stockpile going. If you guys have any pictures in your line as you're working through some of those fuel breaks, those would be great shots. Or if you have just some good wildlife shots, we would like to have those. So the calendar should be ready in a week to 10 days, and hopefully we'll get those out before January 1. I'm pretty excited about that. Asked for, okay, I've already asked for pictures. I still need some volunteers that might be willing to be part of the education outreach group that primarily can help with tables at various activities or fairs and be able to present the materials. And I think that's about it for right now. Of toe chain covers were just flying off the shelf at the end, and I think I've already said that, at the end of the summer and even into October, I was getting requests for them. That's kind of slowed down as we get into a wetter season, but I know it'll crank up again. I have somebody in Brownsville who's become my kind of go-to person for cutting them. And Eric and a few other fire groups have been great about providing hose. I just want to really stress the need to get those tow chains covered and to also have fire extinguishers in cars. So last year we had it on the calendar as part of the Christmas gifts. A set of tow chain covers and a couple of car fire extinguishers would make a great gift in the area of preparedness to give to everybody in your family, so they all have those in their vehicles. The tow chain covers, if they tow anything. And then look again at that list from last year. If you're looking for a gift that for somebody who has everything, try going with offering them a gift certificate for some defensible space time that you'll come out and, get them a new hoe or a new shovel or something and pair that with 5 hours of your time to help with defensible space. So I just want to stress the fact that Christmas gifts can really be very pragmatic and very useful and push towards more of our preparedness. And hopefully that all of you here who are pretty much the choir can sing that song out to other people and get them to start thinking in terms of gifts that have a purpose in keeping the foothills safe. I think that's it, unless anybody has any questions. Okay, thank you.
Beverly?
Yes.
Do you need any more brochures from YS Data?
I think I've got a pretty good stock right now, Gretchen, but if I do, I will definitely be knocking on your door.
Okay, just checking.
Thank you. Anything, are there newer?
No.
Flyers then? Okay.
No.
The only other thing is you might let me know if you're doing like a training for people who would be part of your rescue group or your group that would go out to provide service during a fire or disaster.
Are you interested in becoming trained in that?
No. But I'm interested in putting it out there so that if there are people who are, that they know what we put it on the website so that people who might be interested not only know what's expected, but know when potential trainings might be.
Yeah, okay, I'll do that. We'll probably have one in the spring before.
Okay, yeah, if you'll make sure that you let myself or Curtis know so we can get it on the website.
Okay, will do. I'm making the notes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Beverly, for all of that. And yeah, thanks for your hard work too on the calendars. We're excited to have those out. They make great stocking stuffers, everyone. So we'll send out an email to the group when those are ready and let you know where you can pick them up. All right, next up, Sean, if you want to hop in for a board report, if you've got anything.
Not much going on board wise, other than we're aware of the fire prevention grant opportunities coming up. And as the board, as the group, will be looking into coming up with some projects Glad to see that Fish and Wildlife is on here working. I've had a lot of experience working with Mario, and they're eager to do a lot of projects on their property. So if we can help facilitate getting some fuel reduction, they own a lot of property in our area of concern, and if we can get some work done on some of their properties, it'll be great. Do we invite Tony Velasquez with Beale Air Force Base's fuel reduction group? Are they on our mailing list? If not, we'd be good to add them. They're looking at doing several thousand acres of prescribed fire this coming spring and summer, and they have some equipment that they'd be more than happy to bring out and use if we were doing like a small control burn and needed a type 6 equipment and a masticator. They're more than happy to come out and participate on those types of projects with us. So I'd like to get, if they're not on our list, I'd like to get them invited. As far as other board stuff, it's been, we're just that time of year where things are transitioning between fire season and winter season. So hopefully activity will pick up. And other than that, in the report, I'll let Allison pick it up from there.
Great, thanks, Sean. Yeah, Tony Velasquez, that name sounds familiar. I think I have seen it on the email list, but I can reach out to him separately. Especially invite him. Folks tend to respond when you ask them personally. So
okay, I think he probably should be one of the cooperators that we get a regular report from, because like I said, they'll be doing some significant burns, several thousand acres come up and coming this spring. So if we can just keep them in the loop, would be a good thing.
Totally. Yeah, that feels, what was the program you called? Like vegetation management or something?
They're the Beale Air Force's Base Vegetation Management Group.
Okay.
He's the lead of Beale Air Force's Base's vegetation management program.
Great. Okay. Yeah, I can reach out and invite him.
And if you need his contact information, let me know. I can forward it your way.
Okay. I think he is on the email list, but I can check in with you for sure. Great. Okay. That means it's time for my report. We covered some of it already in some of the other reports, but let me take a look here. All right, so we are, I think I talked about this last time, we are actively hiring right now for a project coordinator, part-time project coordinator to support a lot of our residential programs and so the work that Janine was doing before she left. So we have 6 applications in so far, and people have until next Friday to submit an application. So if you know anyone who might be interested, might be good fit for that position, it is up on our website, and still have a little over a week to apply. So we'll be doing interviews in January and then hopefully hiring as soon as possible after that. So keep spreading the word. All right. Oh, I do have some exciting news. I talked about a grant last time that we were applying for. We were awarded another grant. I've talked about the home hardening cost share program, that grant, where we were awarded another one for a defensible space cost share program. So that's another $75,000 that'll go toward helping people meet defensible space around their homes, and that'll also support partially support this new project coordinator position. But yeah, we're really excited about kind of both of those, the home hardening and the defensible space projects. They'll be able to kind of work in tandem. They're both a 50% cost share reimbursement program for this very necessary work that folks need to do around their homes. So any questions on that? I know I've talked about it before, so I don't need to go into depth too much. Kathy? Yeah.
I have a quick question. Does the Fire Safe Council intend on applying again for PG&E's defensible space program?
Absolutely. Yeah, I want to work with you on that. Yeah, we definitely want to support the special needs defensible space program. And if it's through PG&E, that's great. If they're going to keep being stingy on funding, then we can look for other opportunities. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully they will have. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we're definitely not forgetting about that piece. This is just kind of another component for non-special needs folks, just to kind of give an extra boost. So, all right, address signs. I know Beverly was talking about holiday gifting with the toe chain covers and the calendars. Want to put a plug out there for address signs as well. And Curtis, I forget if we talked about this before, but I want to do one kind of final holiday gifting push. So maybe we can do another blast out on Facebook. So we'll do, I'll let you know, Curtis. I need to figure out the date finally, but I think if we say, if people get the requests in by like a week from now, we can have them ready to deliver like a week or so before Christmas, and hopefully time for people to pick up. So I'll touch base with you to make sure we get the dates right. But yeah, everyone spread the word, get your, if you don't have an address sign yet, get your application in, and or if your family doesn't have address sign yet, you can, it's a great stocking stuffer. I think it would fit in a stocking pretty well. So
Address signs help UPS find your house too.
yes. Yeah. Totally. Multi-benefit. All right, chipping applications have slowed down a bit, but that kind of makes sense for this time of year. Let's see, I was going to touch on Firewise Communities. We kind of talked about that already before. There's interest building in Pendola area and Dobbins, and Curtis, you mentioned some folks up in Brownsville. So we're thinking about hosting maybe kind of a larger community meeting sometime in the new year for those communities, and also any others interested, to kind of really help building interest and walk folks through the process of what it means to become a Firewise community and the steps to do that. So we'll have more to come in the new year about that, but we're excited to see that there is some interest building, and we want to do, you know, a lot of the effort, I think, for these Firewise communities does need to come from the residents and the neighborhoods, but we want to do whatever we can to support and help kind of usher those along. So great to see all that movement happening. See, the last couple of things I have, why this just came to mind, just in case anyone hasn't heard, UC Extension is hiring a new forestry advisor. That was Kate Wilkins' position before she left a couple of years ago. And they haven't hired anyone since, but they are going through the hiring process right now. I don't think they've picked anyone yet, but hopefully soon. So that's exciting. We're definitely going to invite them, the new person, to these meetings, and hopefully get them involved in all the work that everyone here is doing. Well, great.
Just a little history, and I believe this is correct. Sean, fill in if I'm wrong, but when Kate Wilkins was hired, the Fire Safe Council was deeply involved in that whole hiring process, because Glenn Nader was the person prior to Kate, and because of our special needs, you know, for this Fire Safe Council and of the area, it was suggested that, you know, we really we meaning you, really, you know, become a part of this. So they so that we're vocal, and they know that, you know, this position really needs to be filled, and I can pull up some of that original data if you'd like me to, Allison, and send it to you with our original concerns and stuff, if that's helpful.
Sure, yeah. And I actually, they've held the interviews before, and they invited me to attend part of the interviews. They had like each candidate gave a presentation, and then they had opportunities for us. I'm not sure who the other folks on the call were, but I was able to like ask some questions and then submit a review afterwards. So
Great.
Yeah, so we did definitely have a voice in the process. So yeah, I thought that was great that they got us involved in that way. I just had kind of heard of it a few months ago that it was up, and then wasn't sure when it was going to happen. Hopefully we'll hear something soon. But yeah, I mean, feel free to, if you have any other info though, Kathy, feel free to send my way.
Okay, I will. All right, you take care.
All right. Last up on my list is, I know we've talked about it before, but for these meetings is potentially moving back to in-person meetings at the Alcoof Center, pending, whatever's going on in the world with COVID, and the board does have kind of final say on that too before we move back. But Curtis and I and Kathy, we're going to meet up next week, correct? And we're going to test out some technology, see if we can do a hybrid meeting. So some folks can meet in person, and then folks who aren't able to join in person can call in via Zoom. So we're gonna test that technology out and hopefully find something that works well for us. But yeah, we'll talk with the board later today about that. So stay tuned. We're thinking about either January or February for the new year, going back to trying in person. But just want to keep folks posted on that kind of that front, what we're looking at. That's all I have for now for today. Are there any questions?
Allison, this is Sean. I just got in touch with Tony. He said all of his emails have been going to his spam box. So he's gonna reroute that.
Okay.
He didn't say whether or not. I told him if he's got a couple minutes and wanted to provide some updates, he could hop on. So I was just going to give him a minute or two to see if he wanted to do that or not. And if he's available to provide anything, but I don't see him hopping on, so he might be in the middle of some other stuff. But just know he's going to fix that so it doesn't go to his spam box, and we'll be eager to participate in the future.
Great, thanks, Sean. Joanna, I think I see your hand up there.
Yeah, I just, one thing I wanted to mention, I forgot to mention on my slot, sorry about that. So some of you are on the Integrated Regional Water Management email list, but I just wanted to let you all know, anyone who's not on, is that we're trying to pull together a grant writing workshop just for stakeholders in Yuba County. So if you have people in your system, or if you're interested in kind of learning more about grantsmanship, Allison's really good at it. That's why she keeps getting funding, and it really is a port that you need to learn kind of how to play the game to bring that money into the county. So if you're interested, we're going to schedule it around the availability of the people that are interested. It's open to up to 15 people. It's a multi-day effort, so it's quite focused on really digging into grant writing. So if you're interested, let Allison know, and she can let me know, or you can email me directly and I'll get you on the list. And then when they start scheduling, you'll be contacted to make sure that you can attend. And I'm not sure if it'll be in person or remote or a combination. It'll be sometime next quarter.
Joanna, is that with Elisa Brown?
That's right. That's the Sierra Nevada Conservancy runs them. And yeah, Alyssa will be leading it.
Elisa, just so you guys know, that was the person that Allison learned how to write grants from. So she's highly recommended. We've sent a few of our staff, and we'll send a couple more in that are new. So this is a great program. She's very thorough, and you get a good grounding after you finish her class.
Agreed. Yeah, I would totally vouch for that. Yeah, Elisa's great. Everything Kathy just said. So
Yeah, and just so you guys know, Allison got an A+ on her effort. There were no edits. Allison is just exceptional. We are so fortunate to have her as the executive director. She's amazing.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you, Allison.
All righty. Anyone else? So questions, announcements, comments? I thought I saw Tony jump on for a second, but now I don't see him anymore. So
I can give you an update of the Department of Insurance conducted a 2.5-hour mitigation hearing on our wildfire regulations, and it was recorded. So if anybody is interested in hearing more about wildfire scoring that insurers are going to be required to provide to homeowners in the WUI, it was a pretty big meeting, and there were a lot of concerns, and I think we're going to be moving ahead very quickly. So that's the word that I'm hearing from our executives. So and then also Lisa did meet with Supervisor Fletcher after their presentation last month, and he just gave her background, and I think he mentioned that his focus is really water right now. So just maybe that's why you haven't seen him in so many meetings. He did tell her what his interests were, and if there's anything that he can do to support those things, to let him know. Did anybody, I don't know if anybody attended that wildfire mitigation hearing. It was pretty intense. Insurers, consumer advocates, consumer watchdog, the third party providers of wildfire scores. So if anybody wants to know more about how the scoring gets done and what we're planning to do, the text is out there, so you can see the text of the regulations. And yeah.
Is that,
Rennie, would it be possible to send that link to Allison, so maybe Allison can send it out to us?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to ask.
Okay.
That'd be great. Great, thanks, Ronnie. Anyone else before we wrap up today? Awesome. Well, thanks everyone for being here today. Happy December. Happy holidays to everyone. Hope you have a nice, cozy and relaxing holiday season. And if I don't see you before then, we'll see you in the new year.